It's 25 degrees and sunny this morning, but a strong westerly wind is causing the temperature to feel much cooler. It's almost lunchtime in Rochester Hills and traffic is running smoothly on Walton Boulevard. But that's all going to change soon. Ed Leafdale's suspicions are correct. While testing a water sample taken from puddles along the road, he has determined that a break in the water main has occurred beneath the road surface near one of the busiest intersections in the city, Walton Boulevard and Livernois Road, both of which are 5-lane highways. Repair crews from the city's Department of Public Service quickly gather at the scene to begin the lengthy repair process, which begins with establishing a safe working environment for the crews. This involves diverting traffic away from the work site. Traffic engineer Steve Deering is one of the first on scene to help reroute traffic. He works closely with Ed to seal off the eastbound lanes of Walton.
To the east when you bring in the dumps to get rid of the concrete. The major concern is that this is obviously an unexpected emergency situation. We will not be clear before rush hour. The idea is to not drag it out into the late evening and into tomorrow. It's unfortunate, but we're going to do a total closure for eastbound Walton to expedite the repairs to the water main.
At this intersection, Steve Deering must consider more than 16 different traffic movements for the two roads. He must also consider a high school that will release hundreds of cars onto Walton and Livernois at approximately 2:30, as well as 2 shopping malls and 2 gas stations. And his main concern is providing safety and room to work for the repair crews.
We don't have enough time to post detour routes, so the presumption is that during the evening rush hour, everybody's local. They should be able to find their way through.
Once the steady flow of traffic is under control, the crew can turn its attention to the water main and fixing the leak.
First thing we do is we determine what type of leak we have, if it's a leak or not, by taking a chlorine test on it. That gives us a residual if there's any chlorine in the water. Then the next thing we would do is we'd call into the office and get a hold of Mistig stakeout people, and they would come out and stake out the utilities such as gas, Michigan Bell, and Detroit Edison. And while we're going through that process, we would notify the residents, business owners, what we have and what we're going to do as far as shutting down the water, give them approximate time, how long we feel it's going to be down.
The unscientific dartboard method is used to find the exact location of the leak. With the help of Dig from Consumers Power, utility lines are marked so that digging may safely begin. Meanwhile, the water is shut off by hand in order to alleviate the pressure on the leak and stop the flow of water. A diamond bit concrete saw is used to cut through the 8 inches of Walton Boulevard. It's under this 4-foot by 8-foot section of concrete that the leak is believed to be located. This point in the process is cause for a popular misconception by passing motorists and taxpayers. They see one crew member working while several others stand around waiting.
A lot of times people get the idea that with city workers, there's 3 or 4 guys standing while one guy's working. Well, that's not normally the case. What usually happens, you've got classifications, just like you do in the shop. You've got laborers, you've got light equipment, you've got operators, you've got truck drivers, and everybody works in a classification. Right now, we've got 2 laborers using a saw over there, and that's their particular job. On this job, we also got a heavy equipment. He's waiting until the pavement is cut before he can actually run the backhoe. Then he also got a truck driver, a light equipment. He can't do anything until the backhoe breaks up the concrete to load it on the truck, and that's where his job comes in at. He hauls the material out. So yeah, you do have some people standing around, but everybody's working within a classification.
And as we'll see a little bit later, in addition to being specifically trained, those lingering crew members play an important role in the safety of the project. The next step in the process is to break up and remove the concrete. Heavy equipment is brought in for this task. What the heavy equipment won't pick up, manual labor will. The concrete will be hauled away to a nearby recycling plant. Some more help from Miss Dig, and the dirt is now carefully removed from the hole, slowed here by the presence of a gas line. Finding water in soft dirt is a good sign to the crew, for it indicates that they've located the leak on the very first try, the first throw of the dart.
Well, it happens quite often that the water will seek its own path. It'll look for the easiest way to come out of the ground. A lot of times, if you're in a road situation like we are right now, the frost could be anywhere from 2 to 3 feet thick. And it'll run underneath the frost to where it can find a place to get out from under the frost. And sometimes we have to poke 2 or 3 holes to find out where it's at. We got real lucky on this particular job.
After locating the exact location of the gas line and digging gingerly around it by hand, the crew finds the precise location of the break. Assessing the damage, it is quickly determined to be a broken connection on the line coming from a nearby bank. A water main break is often caused by the continual changes in temperature, causing the frost to heave and settle and the pipes to expand and contract. In this case, it was a cast iron fitting that had corroded to the point of breaking.
Okay, what we've got here is a cast iron saddle that was probably put on back in around early 70s. And it's a 2-inch service port and a piece of copper line coming off that on a piece of cast iron main. And what happens, it just rotted off in time. So what we're doing right now, we're replacing it with a 2-inch brass saddle with a brand new corporation with a brand new piece of 2-inch plastic to hook onto the copper.
This time of year is when most breaks occur. That's something that keeps the DPS crews on their toes. It's now 4 o'clock, and an unattentive driver finds himself on the wrong side of the cones and right in the middle of the work site. Ed quickly directs the driver out of the area and away from disaster.
A lot of times people get confused. They see all the equipment going on, and they see the trucks and the tractor or the backhoe working and stuff like that, and then the next thing they know, they're in the middle of no man's land. They're trying to figure out how to get out of a situation that they just kind of wandered into. So you've got to kind of help them along. You can't be screaming at them and yelling and stuff like that, because they're confused and what have you. And if they get confused and excited, they could possibly get somebody hurt, maybe stepping on the gas pedal when they should be putting on the brake. So we try to, handle it in a cautious way. We try to help them out as much as we can. Try to show them a direct route out of the situation that they got themselves into.
Traffic is inconvenienced greatly by this project, and as rush hour approaches, the crew expects more incidents like this to happen. So they all keep an eye open for it, especially those members of the crew who are not currently involved in the repair of the water main. The crew is also aware that motorists may be impatient and may not understand why construction is taking place during peak travel hours. It would never be scheduled for this time period, obviously. A water main break is an unforeseen emergency. Some motorists are sympathetic. Seeing a crew working outside in sub-freezing temperatures sometimes inspires a person to perform a random act of kindness.
She's in that white car. She just dropped us off some cookies for the guys working out on the job. she's seen us out here earlier. She thought that we could use a little treat.
That's nice. How often does that happen?
It happens quite a bit. Believe it or not, there's a lot of nice people out there that are concerned about the people that are working outside. They'll drop off coffee once in a while or hot chocolate or something like that. It's really appreciated. We do appreciate it.
While 2 workers are down in the muddy hole making repairs to the pipes, the other crew members are fulfilling a very important function as well. Aside from watching for errant traffic, it is their job to watch the muddy walls of the ditch for signs of collapse. If that were to happen, they would act quickly to save their fellow workers. They will also, regardless of their individual classifications, take turns sharing the back-breaking duties of digging the mud away from the leak. The crew is made up of some very talented and dedicated individuals. Backhoe operator Jim Morris is a magician when working in close order with gas lines and electrical conduit. Scott Cope knows the entire Rochester Hills water system inside and out and manages the pressure and flow for this and many other projects. Steve Swan, Tom Smith, and Denny Richards have all been plowing roads throughout the winter, but today are hauling dirt to and from the site. Gary Elliott and Tony Wagner, laborers who have spent the better part of the day below the surface of the road in the quagmire that surrounds the pipe.
It's just one valve over here.
Oh, going up the drive there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way we can test it before we get.
All right, let's do that.
The actual repair to the main takes very little time in comparison to the entire project. The most difficult aspects of the job this day included getting to the leak, then creating the room to work, and of course the steadily falling temperatures, not to mention the constant danger of traffic. Here an ambulance is forced to cut through the work site in order to get to nearby Crittenden Hospital. All in a day's work for this crew, as now the repair to the pipe is complete.
He's going to turn the water on right now so we can test our repair work. We can't just assume that it's fixed, then backfill, and all of a sudden we've got a leak, you know, and then we got to uncover everything. So we always test it before we fill in the hole. We've got pressure on the main itself up to the corporation. He's checking for leaks right now, and in a few minutes he's going to turn it on to the line pressure, or onto the line service. Check it that way. Just checking it out real good to make sure there's no leaks at all. Because little leaks make big leaks in time.
The repair to the main holds, and now the cleanup process begins. The same crew that just removed 3 truckloads of dirt from the roadbed must now rebuild the roadway to its original state, which includes using 22A grade road gravel, crushed concrete, and asphalt, compacting the soil well to withstand the high volumes of traffic on Walton Boulevard.
Right now we're leveling it off, bringing it up in about 12 to 18-inch lift, okay? Then what we're going to do is take this compactor over here, compact the area, and then bring it up another 12 to 18 inches lift until we get the desired pipe that we want. Then we're going to put crushed concrete on there to cap it off, or top it off. Then to cap it off, we're going to put asphalt or blacktop. As you see, it's like a coal patch. You see it in holes, potholes, and that should do it.
On a day when the weather cooperated fully, the crew is thankful for ideal conditions.
This particular job here was ideal. The sun was out, the weather was nice, there was no rain, no snow, no sleet. Everything was going real smooth for us. The worst scenarios is usually like on a Sunday night, just when you about settle down for a nice evening with the family and all of a sudden you get a call from fire dispatch saying that they've got a water leak somewhere. So I've got to pack up what I'm doing, head outside to the office, then I got to call in the other crews, or the other people from what they were doing in their home, their activities, and bring them in, and then the process starts all over. touches on it right now, a temporary patch. We'll be back in the summer, and an off hour, probably late at night, we'll put what they call a high noon mixture on there. And that's a 9-bag mix concrete. And once we put that cement down, they'll be able to drive on it within 6 hours. And that's about the end of it.